Today, we have another engrossing session on Research as a Career for Ladybirds Busting the Barriers, led by Dr. Asha and Philip. And on behalf of all, I wholeheartedly welcome you, ma'am, to this session. Thank you.
Thank you for nice introduction, and thank you the organizers for giving me this opportunity to present this topic. So this is a general outline about today's topic. I am going to divide today's talk into 4 major categories. So I just want to say some disclaimers about today's topic. So this talk is not a 10 tips to succeed in research, because there is not such 10 tips. This talk is not a compilation about fellowships or grants you can get in research field, because I am still a student and I have never been through that process, and I don't know what are the fellowships and grants I can get. Okay, this is not a discussion about how the things should be, but this is a discussion about how I found things they are. So the only intention of this talk is to help and motivate you, especially women, to become a researcher. Being a vet, so I don't know how many of us have chosen this profession of being a vet with conscious mind. I'm so proud to say I'm a vet, and I have chosen this profession out of my passion. So let me talk about my early background. I am originally from Wayanad, Kerala state, and I have completed my veterinary education from College of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Pukot, in 2013. And thereafter, I went for a master's degree in Indian Veterinary Research Institute, and I graduated with a master's degree in veterinary pathology. So I'm not going to talk about all these opportunities or all these career options. So I'm going to talk about the career as a research scientist. So research as a career. So I think it's a very softly spoken area. So today my idea is to give you an overview about what is research, especially for young researchers who are so passionate about doing research, and what are the different steps in research, how someone can pursue the research, and how we can succeed in research. So in simpler terms, research means try to find out something by searching it again and again. It is a very systemic process of asking and attempting answers to the questions about the world. It's not only in the science. Research can happen in any field. It can be in like human behavior or animal behavior, astronomy, science, medicine, electronics, engineering. It includes systematic collection of data, organization of the data, evaluation, and interpretation of data. So there are different types of research. Based on the purpose, we can divide research into 3 main headings. First one is basic or fundamental research. So basic research is usually undertaken to extend the knowledge or gain the understanding without concerning about what is utility. The outcome of the basic research is not really important, because we are not concerned about what is the utility of that research. We are only concerned about what knowledge we can add on to the existing knowledge. So the second classification is applied or action research. The research work is undertaken to acquire new knowledge with a specific intention of an application. By doing an applied research, we want to come up with some result or something that can help the mankind, or which can solve the issue of the mankind, and we have to come up with some utility product out of that. And the third one is developmental research. So developmental research is kind of applied research. It's a minor modifications happening in applied research. Some private firms or some industries are making a minor modification in already discovered item. It is called developmental research. I know, like, whoever is so interested to do research, you have to understand what are the steps in the research. So let me explain basic steps in the research with an example. So all the research begins with a research problem or asking some research questions. In most of the cases, the research problem or question will be raised by the principal investigator. So if we talk about us, like students, in most of the cases, the research problem or the question will be raised by our professor. So let us go through an example. So in today's perspective, this is a big question. How to treat COVID-19 disease or how to eliminate COVID-19 disease from the globe. The second step in research is developing a hypothesis or a design. So you have to know what is meant by hypothesis. It is a formally stated testable prediction. So it is just a prediction. If we ask these questions about COVID-19, the hypothesis will be therapeutic drugs that specifically kills or a vaccine that protects against SARS-CoV-19 too can be developed. That is our hypothesis. And it is just a prediction. We don't know what will be the result, what will be the outcome. So the hypothesis has been developed, derived, and it has to be tested. And the third important step is conducting the study. And this is the most important step. And the young researchers, the students, the postdoc, and all the research scientists, we are participating in this step. This is the step where we can contribute to the science. That means conducting the study. This is a very systematic step in research where we are doing all these experiments, collecting the data, interpreting the data, and also analyzing the results. In this case, making a vaccine platform. So for that, there are different approaches. So each research group will be going through different platforms. So it does not matter. So once we design such a vaccine platform, it can be for COVID-19, it can be a virus-based vaccine platform, or it can be a protein-based, or it can be DNA-based, or whatever. There should be an experimental protocol which has to be conducted in a very systematic manner. And the fourth step is testing the hypothesis. So our hypothesis was that, okay, therapeutic drugs or vaccines can be developed that protects the humans against the COVID-19. By doing some experiments, we have to test that hypothesis. So what we do is we will generate a candidate strain of the vaccines, and we have to conduct different animal studies and human trials to test our hypothesis that whether this strain of vaccine is able to provide immunological protection. Okay, the last step in research is communicating the results. This is another important step because whatever results we are observing, we have to communicate our results to the scientific community as well as to the public. In most of the cases, research results are published in peer-reviewed scientific journals. Whatever we are trying to publish will be reviewed by the experts in the field, and they will give us the comments and suggestions. And if they feel we conducted all the experiments right and our results looks perfect, then only it can be published. And the other aspect is like communicating the results or observation with the public. That's another very important aspect of a scientist. So we have to publish the information to the public through different social medias. None of the public can read a scientific article and learn that, okay, what is the recent publication about COVID-19? What are the facts about COVID-19? Or no one is going to read any scientific journals. So it is the responsibility of us, the researchers, to publish what our results and the knowledge to the public in the social media. So let us go through the traditional career path. So the first step for us is an undergraduate degree, which is called BVSc and AH. As we all know, this is a professional degree. So this degree is sufficient to make money, to find an income. So whoever is like happy with a BVSc degree, go for it. So the master's degree is a specialist art of degree. That means after BVSc, we are going to specialize or focus our study in one small branch of science. It could be a clinical subject or it could be a non-clinical subject. It only depends on like what's your interest. So find your interest during your final years, at least your final years, like what you really want to do. And the third stage is PhD. It's such an important stage and it really requires commitment and passion from you. So I just want to highlight the PhD for so many reasons. First one, doing PhD is not that easy. I just want to draw a line here because if you are not so passionate about research, don't think about the remaining steps I'm going to explain. So once you complete your PhD, you can go for some research oriented training, which is called postdoc training. It's mostly available in like foreign countries. In India, I don't know like how many institutes are actually entertaining postdoc training, but this is very, very common practice in like European countries and in the US. So this is the actual step where you think about your field of interest, what you want to be, what you want to do in your career as a researcher. And this is the time where you think about making your own research group, like what you want to do, whether you want to do a research in virology or like vaccinology or like basic science, what you want to do. And after that, your research group will be recognized, and eventually you will become a leader or a mentor who is going to support the next generation. So if you're so passionate about research and if you're thinking research as a career, please choose these stages very wisely. If you are not committed, if you are not motivated, don't go for that.